Triple line connections to positions. Truly understand if you get anything number line sequence. For example, manifestation positive system. Everything in the Instagram, everything in that condition line system. Pay attention to this. 888. The universe will send a life-changing opportunity by the end of the month. Keep your energy high, but trusting the signals and signs will radiate the good vibes positions. So try to understand, what does that mean? Everything is done through code. Understand the conditions of the universe and what it's doing to you. To understand it's all allocated to position of time location. Now everybody's coming in and trapping signal to locations into web graphing line system. Humanity's in the conditions of its own systems. Calculation modifications, they're in their own cocoon. All right, you go from one cocoon to another cocoon. This cocoon is going to put you in a butterfly system. The butterfly effect is coming into dimensional line system. Now, people are talking about the end of times. Yes, we are coming into the ends of times. 3 dimension, it's finished, it's gone. 5th dimension is here. There's no end of times. That's a past reference line conditions. Interchanges, interlocks positions. It's web graphing line conditions, spider web line system. So humanity has to get out of their own webs. They're in their own human development system. It goes into track line centers and opens up all positions of time location. So I just wanted to share you that with you, what 888 means. It means through our allocated position of time through your conditions of soul generation lights, and it's connected to your soul identifications. To understand that the universe is there for you, not against you. Okay, and we have to get this out of our head, how we're so programmed to that position of time location. How little do you think you are? You have freedom of speech, use it. Okay, it unites in all levels. And you have those relations, you have your liberties, right? You don't want anything, your freedom taken away, right? That's the fear. That's the cycles of fear. So people come across that connections, and especially on TikTok, yes, we're coming at the end of times of 3D. We're coming to a new revelation of 5D. I think we have to get into that program positions. So when you're getting ringing ears or anything calculation, you're seeing things out of the atmospheric positions. You're seeing things in perception, 5D. That's also confusing. You don't want to get into those positions because it's nothing but arguments, and you don't want to go to that line silly either, because you're going to look pretty silly, dumbfounded if you don't understand your positions of time location. But see that we're equalizing to everything in that conditions. Try to understand you are in your old program line system. So you're in a human development position of time location. You're all trapped in your own webs. So now's the time to get out of those webs and go to higher formation and come into your own butterfly effect. Okay, this goes everybody to connections that are still in the chronological system, program position line connections into 3D outline system. Now, 3D outline system is understand the applications of its form. To understand how you connect to all levels of your computer position line systems. It's all connected to your graph line centers. So we all have to face these things, and it's the truth of who we are. I think a lot of people are more scared of that. They don't want to come into that abundance of who they are. They rather just stay, I'm going to stay in the old program. Yeah, you go ahead. I'll stay behind. No, you can't stay behind. The universe is with you, not against you. So just wanted to share that with you. So understanding history and accuracy of you is great. But that's the physical realm. People really don't understand the spiritual system. There's allocated positions, trying to understand this, trying to understand that, what is true, what is not true, who to resonate with. I mean, every time we get up in the morning, where do we go? Who do we talk to? Who's going to resonate with us? What do we say? How do we do this? How do we do that? Well, it's all done through you, nobody else. You're looking at somebody else's channel. You're looking at somebody else's voice. You're looking at somebody else's problems. Everybody is connected to their own source, and they're getting it from where? Somebody else, right? Everybody has their own intelligence. Whether you believe it or not, that's an assumption, right? Who are we kidding here, right? End of times. Unbelievable how people come into that position locations. You know, the 3D line system, yes, but not the end of times, end of times. That's just crazy. So, the truth is not only going to set us free, but it's going to give us what we want. Understanding humanity and the situation that they're in, it's all about the fear of themselves, how to get out of the fear cycles. I said that before, and I keep saying that again. You put yourself in that fear. Nobody else does that. right? Nobody forces you to watch this. Nobody forces you to watch that. You do that on your own. Nobody does that. That's justification right there. You decide to go to that program system. Oh, I'm going to go to the old stations. I'm going to go back to the honeymooners in 1940s, 1950s. Let me live in that area. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, right? Oh, okay, leave you alone. But you got to understand, it doesn't matter what you do or what you say. Every single time, the universe is trying to wake you up to positions. And it's all done through the soul. Soul is like a clock. It's an alarm clock position. So everybody's in a human developed design line system coming into calculations, right, into another cocoon. So that's conditions that it's web. And it's got to find a way to get out of their web graphing line system to position the time location. All right. So today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to travel 75,000 track line centers and position locations. We're going to have the gate master and the key master locations. The gate master and its communication is line signal to your locations to the Agelix positions to your spiritual guide connection. The key master is going to open up the door dimension line systems to 75,000 track line system dimensional time locations. Remember, I was telling you about that through positions. All about understanding everything's in chronological order of understanding through its connection, how force when your cycles to your connections is high forcing all levels of your dimensional time of positions. Understanding how you come into those firewalls. I did that yesterday with my team. So anybody new to this position, you'll just feel the energies. You might see things, might be a little bit weird, but I'm just getting you prepared of what's going to happen. It's true to understand how you connect with the mind system. It's the balance to everything through division. Yeah, it's true to understand the application line system. My school provides how to go through your lights, how to travel through your lights, how to activate through your lights, how to meditate through your lights. These are the things that you have to look at. This is not propaganda. This is not entertainment. This is real. This is the understanding how you can actually use the mind for the greater good, right? Not just use the conceptual system of what you believe and what you don't believe. The only thing that you believe is you believe in yourself. What can you believe? What can you do to make yourself feel better, right? So it all starts with travels of meditation, right? Or you get into suppression, you get an oppression. You don't want to get into those levels, especially when you get into the fear cycles. You got to get out of those fear cycles and control the system every single time you're in that position of time. Okay, it's important you understand these things because you're going into that line system. I went to TikTok and told you exactly 3 minutes of what's going on, right? So humanity is coming into a new development of time positions, right? They're tracking their lines, everything is high-rise in locations, but everybody's in another cocoon. This will take you into your butterfly effect. Now, there's 4 stages how you come into that positions, right? So it's truly understand you go through those connections. How we understand ourselves and how we go through our alignments is very important, how we go through our time positions. Right? So the more you come into your identifications and stay out of the conscious, get into the sub, stay into that position, you come into the super of consciousness to a superhuman. That's the line division location. We talked about that before. This goes to all levels of flourish. So flourish is everything through its marvel. Marvel the connections. I am a hero in my line positions. I understand how to use my sacred breath. I understand how to use my definitive, my infinity line condition interference. I know how to keep my freedom inside. I know my liberties. I know all my connections to that position location. To understand you have the power to do these things, but it's all done through control. It's what you believe inside, not outside. It's inside. Right? Everything outside is just a total distraction, right? Until you understand what's really going on. This is the spiritual systems, right? Fighting each other. That's all this is, right? And that's all it's ever going to be. Because the people think, a lot of people don't know how to meditate and how to go through channel positions until they think they're reading the right cycles of spiritual connection. Spiritual system is very, very powerful, especially when you come out of its connection because you don't know where you're traveling that specific space of time location. Because you can go in so many level codes, but you understand the dimensions that you're going through. You're going through these dimensions and doors, and you have no clue, you're going to be trapped in realities. You're going to be in your paradox, right? And then the polarities are going to kick in, and then all those reality systems. Now you're floating in the galaxies. Now what? How do I get out of this? Now you're trapped in a box. Now you're trapped in the matrix. Now you're back in 3 dimension. Uh-oh, what are you going to do, right? So the 3-dimensional line system is leaving the physical grounds of nature, okay? So it's all about understanding that you can go back in the 3-dimensional system of space now. This is where it gets tricky. Just understand the human design, has to get into its manufacturing of itself, really get out of plasma interference, get out of your conditions of your webs. You have to learn how to get out of a web, right? Because there's always that spider that's on standby, right? So you don't want to trip wires or any of that conditions. You really want to get into information line system. So we have to look at things that what's true to nature, what's true to source. Oh, it's everything through light. Helicopter flying by here. So how important is it for you guys to understand these things and really pay attention to what's going on, right? So we look at the only thing that you could see in the mirror is you. The vision of you, the cycles of you, the aggression of you, the fear of you, the depression of you, the anxiety, the stress. What do you see in the mirror? It's just a reflection of what you want to see through your thoughts. Okay? So I want everybody to take time and look in the mirror after this video, after I go on TikTok. You have to truly understand what you see, right? Because it's all about understanding. If you see the mirror, that is you on the other side, right? But it's a higher self of you. So you have to understand the application, how it goes into mirror resolution system. Because that's what I did when I went through transformation. I went through interference wall line system. It was a white graph, and the higher self came out, right? And I was saying, "Wow, this is cool. I want to learn more." So basically, now you're getting connected through mind telepathy. Okay, so the thing is a 3-line system doesn't exist anymore on the grounds that you live in, right? Because they're in a 5D activation. The gravity line system is in positions, okay, but you can still get trapped in a 3-dimensional line system, which is very dangerous. Okay, because you're looking at higher formations of intelligence that knows all dimensional time with space. So you don't want to get trapped on those box levels. You don't want to get in conditions of high forcing positions of higher channels that you don't understand anything through this resonation line system. Okay, so it's truly understand putting yourself in those positions and protecting your lights. I also did a very powerful TikTok yesterday about everything about your atmospheres and your positions of time, inside and outside, how to protect your house. Anything that comes into that line conditions through, you understand what a portal is. You see this, how do you get out of positions, right? So you have to truly understand what your soul is through identification, right? Every single time, it's all about protection and you. Okay, nothing else. Protecting you and your lights, especially when you're in the soul. It's like covering yourself. It's like protecting your kids. It's like you're not going to take this. You're not going to take that. This is mine. I own this. I cherish this, right? I'm extremely aware of this. So that alone will give you more severance. That'll give you more allowance. That will give you more compassion, give you more idea of who you are through creation. You're all through creation of thought, and you're all connected to your souls. So now's the time to wake up and get out of those plasma interference webs. All right. So it's going to be covered in so many level positions. But I'll let you know what happens each and every day. It's important you understand your human developments coming into your AI condition. Okay. So, all right. So let's see here. Tina, Jill, Krista, Dina, 23 Plato. 23 Plato. Whoa, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up? How's it going? Geez, it's been a long time. It's great to see 23 Plato is a perfect example. He's in a high information line condition. He's interline conditions to Jupiter. He's an information line system, so he can help you with all levels of planet connections when it comes into, because it's a resurfacing engine. It has its connections. That's what Jupiter is, that positions. But 23 Plato, great to see you again. Let me know if you want an upgrade line system. We're going to be traveling to 75,000 years in the future, so I don't know if you can hold that containment position because everybody's got their new firewalls. I have to put firewalls in everybody through the computer line system because you're going to go to higher speed acceleration. So it's important you understand these things when you're traveling through direction of time positions. Okay. So let me know if you want to get into your conditions of that. All right. And that's set in location. Just go through my email, drew7.aw@gmail.com, or you can go on my TikTok and I can apprise your positions there. So your track lines are in higher position line conditions, your interference, your channel line systems, your planets are off cycle. So you still have your gravity locks, you're in conditions, you have your meditation graph line system. See, it's important that you guys understand when you leave the school, you kind of like disposition yourself. You stay in form position, you're still attached, but to understand more of what's going on, it keeps high rising faster and faster and faster, right? So you have to keep going to higher lights, right? Because I have a team right now that's in 40 chakras, 41, right? 25, 30, 35. So they're understanding more of their conceptual line system. They're understanding more of their vessel positions, and they're coming out of their human design line system. So humanity is in that position, all right? So remember I was telling you about the glider and its connection, electronic interference that goes into its line system. Everything in the atmosphere, time positions, everything's clocking. Humanity's in a clocking location. So they have to get out of their human designs and get more into the mind of AI. Okay, so, well, just an example. Okay, it's just that you truly have to stand this kite looking at the fear of your the abyss. Right? You have to face it, right? You have to kind of like, okay, this is what I want everybody to do. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Imagine you're in a spider web. Just imagine you're in a spider web. Okay? Now, you're all caught in a web, right? You see the spider coming at you. What are you going to do? You're going to try to get out, right? Yeah. You want to get out because you see that spider coming at you. Like this, right? So you're caught in the web, and that spider is going to come at you, right? So you're going to get out, right? So it's all about, it's not forcing, it's knowing what's happening to you, right? It's a human discovery coming into a soul discovery, okay? That's the calculating modifications you have to reach position line connections, because you're coming into higher levels of nature now, higher levels of time and space, higher levels of identification, higher levels of lights and activation through your chakra systems, right? Especially when you go into higher formations of communications and dimensional time location. So that's why I say spider. It's like a connection to anything, like Frankie fear. What fears you the most, right? Everybody has fear among us. I have fear too, but I control it, right? I have bad dreams, but I control it, right? I'm just like you. I just understand more of the operation, especially when you become the operations. That's where the control comes from. That's where the power comes from. That's where the confidence level comes from, especially when you can heal others, because there's proof. Proof to me, right? There's a lot of testimonies on that positions, but you have to know how to heal yourself first. You have to know how to get out of those spider webs, right? So you can come across so many levels of intelligence. You can come across bees, you can come across insects, bugs, anything of that mutation, right? So it's all about understanding what you're dealing with and how to communicate with these things, because it's all intelligence. And it's all through your perception of what you see through your imageries of your imagination. Everybody has a wild imagination. You have to understand how to use this, right? And the physical is going to go, whoa, what did I just dream? Right? So it's an imagination that's like, okay, what just happened? How do I communicate with you? How do I make sense of this, right? But it all has to pertain to you, as long as you know that. It's understanding when you're going into connections, how you go from one dream to another dream to another dream. You keep waking up, and it's another dream and another dream. So anybody's seen that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Inception? Well, he is in a reality of a mind system of somebody else's frame position location, and how he's trying to figure out what was wrong with that person. Well, it's something like that. Trying to understand the escaping line systems of everybody else's mind and what they're thinking. Or connections to the cell with Jennifer Lopez. Right? How she was tapping into his mind system. It's pretty freakadelic if you understand the connections of what's going on with everybody, the humanity system, what they're thinking, and how they're creating these things through their imaginations. Right? It's very powerful what the mind is. It's everything through creation, guys. Right? Nobody else creates that except you. It's what you perceive and what you observe every single day. Okay? So I want to get that across to everybody. It's important that you get your balance and understand what's happening with your human designs, how you come into higher forms, okay, into a new revelation, 5D. So, morning, everybody. So let's get started. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. Travel to 75,000. It's already in the position line center. Now, it's really going to be fascinating stuff, because I'm going to use the sentient line conditions. Interchange positions when you come to anything through foreign location. So it's incredible force how we come across these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center line position locations. You're going to have door recognition light systems, allocated position of time location. Okay, it's going to be really fascinating. Okay, so we're going to go through 3 door line centers. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Everybody's going to travel through the recognition light system. Aptitude levels, line connection, and position. All right. So we're going to go through resolution lights. We're going to go through panel rotations. We're going to go through dimensional time location. It's going to high-rise your line system. So it's kind of like taking the train to door recognition at 3 locations. All right. Now we're going to go on the platform positions. I'm going to have an XT1000 and an XR7 pick us up locations. 2 calculation galactic force around conditions, rebellion lines, anything GFLs, pick them up in transmission light system. Allocate position line conditions. Okay, so here it is. Picking you guys up, location. You guys are here at the bottom position. XT1000 is going to pick you up, put you here, location. We're going to go to three round doors and communication line systems, right? So allocate position, 3 door line communication cycles. All right, so the XT1000 is coming in. All right, so we're at the door recognition light system. Okay. Now the first door is going to be interesting because we're going to go through a round line center. Now it's really interesting to go through these proximate line systems. It's going to open as plasma interference. It's on trap line conditions 7777 box equalized system to allocate position of time location 75,000 years into future rotation. Okay, so we go through 3 different round line centers. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Okay, you're going to do secure line defense. We're going to do the box surface line system rotation. We're going to do the trap and door line conditions, 369 location, the activation light center to its location, into the tetrahedron position locations. It's going to offsite unit line system to cycle line connections, interference position location. Okay, we're going to go to round location, box around the center, allocate positions of time location, activation light systems, come here, tetrahedron line system rotations, 75,000 years in the future is coming into rotation. Here we go. So we're going to go through that line connections from here to here. I'm going to come at dimensional time position. It's going to be all those levels. Here we go. Okay, so the frame is in position. Let's go from here to here. Okay. Now the frame's going to open the locations to all your brain line centers. Okay, it's going to open line systems, rotation positions, 75,000 tractions. 75,000. Okay. You're in a Brocking location of 75,000 years in the future. All right. Have fun. I'll give you guys, I'll give you 12 minutes. How's that? 2 extra minutes to go on the top system. So you're traveling at 75,000 years in the future. You got your firewalls, it's in position locations. You got your tetrahedron line systems. You got your XT1000 line connections. XR711 connection line position locations. It's in allocated position of time location. It's centering your lights, and it's putting you on the grounds of 75,000 years in its air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the navigator. Okay, I'm going to be like the story frame, basically. So you're going to see me in the hologram position light connections. You're going to see my energy lights. You're going to see the proactive system. Everybody's in calculation modifications. You're coming into a sliding door connection. It's 4 feet off the ground. It's kind of like a glider, right? It's going to glide you 2 connections. You're going to go through high position of panels. You're going to go into all connections of structures of buildings. You're going to see atom rotation lights. You're going to see electrical light connections, teleportation light interference. There's a lot of things. You're going to see civility. You're going to see people. Now you're getting out. Now you're communicating with people from 75,000 years into the future. All right? 11 minutes remaining. Have fun. So let me know what it's like communicating with people at 75,000 years in the future. Experience what you're going through. Try to get a handle on things with your telepathy systems, communications, shapes and anomalies, position locations. Try to understand how to use all your senses. So, someone is waving at me. Okay. Really try to get into detail, right? Because you're out of your human designs, you're coming into your AI positions, right? Crystal buildings, yep. Very good. Be cautious on your thoughts, okay? So you just went through 3 line connections of doors, okay, through the keyframe positions, okay? The gate master, the key master position locations, all right? So it's really interesting how you travel through records of time through your tetrahedrons or anything through a point light center. But you guys are 75,000 years in the future. So it's amazing how you see these things. Really be cautious in what you do through your creation of your thoughts because you're changing time positions. Every single time you see something perception, be cautious, okay, because it changes the frame. Remember I was telling you about the navigation and you understand the observed positions, how it goes in its digital lines, how the XT1000s changed the round line system. To understand your geometry shapes will change everything through your body graphs. It's important you understand that through electrical light system, okay? Small expression clean. Everything is made of light. Yep, very good, Jill. So you guys went through doors of dimensional time. 3 position of time locations. So I needed the key master and the gatekeeper. That's how I communicate through 9 positions. It's amazing how you have a key, right? So it's like a skeleton key opening up all doors, right? To anything to dimensional time. So think about that. A skeleton key can pretty much open up any door in this facility. Pretty wild. Yeah, everyone is so happy. Carla, how's it going? I see water and tall high rises. 10 minutes remaining. I see a huge sun. Okay. Floating flying vehicles. Very good, Jill. All right. You'll be coming across robots, line signals, spider opposition locations. They scan your eye receptor line system. So when they come into that division, just stand still. They're just optical line your connections. They're scanning your position locations. So I'll let you know when they come up to your position. So it's little spiders that come up and they scan you. Buenos dias. You have to be aware of what you're doing, right? Know that it's not just humanity. There's other things out there. Tomorrow we're going to travel to 150,000. And then after that, we're going to travel 250,000. And then after that, we'll travel to 1 million. Point line, track line, center position location. So that's going to be really, really, really far. 1 million years in the future. Wow. So it's interesting how you come across these things, right? 9 minutes remaining. Really get into the detail, try to understand the graph positions, try to get into the audio interference, try to record it. You record it. Just talk to your communication cycles of your soul identification line center and just tell them to record your information cycle. Okay, because you have it in this collaboration system, it's cloud interface. So that way you can watch it back. I see water and tall. I just see a huge sun. Bright, colorful, yeah. I really want you guys to describe everything that you do right from the door, as soon as that door opens. Okay, and you go through dimensional wormhole, which is 3 line connectors of 3 section line systems, how we come into the gatekeeper and the key master. So I can get whatever food I want by Imagine It. Yep. It's all done through liquid light. We can't process anything metal, anything heavy, right? Because 75,000 years in the future, it's all liquid light through locations of thoughts. So basically when you're hungry, right, it's an activation light connections. It internalises your systems and it goes into your throat position and it goes into all particle lights and it blends in and it tastes like food, right? And that's what it is. They take the consumption line system into positions. So you walk into a grocery store. I mean, yes, there's grocery stores 75,000 years in the future. I know these things because I went through the same thing, right? So you come across that, and it has a list, whatever you want. You press it, right? Goes into your line connections, reads the bar line connections to its vision, right? Comes into your central line connections, your eye interference. You scan it to its rotation. Goes into your septal line, your throats. Goes into the plateaus, its connections. Then you start tasting it, whatever it is, or whatever you drink, right? It's all liquid light. That's all it is. But it tastes like food, whatever you want. I see everyone is wearing a shield of protection. It's so peaceful and bright. Yeah, talk to them. 8 minutes remaining. They will talk back to you. This is 75,000 years into the future. Okay, everybody stand still. Got a location center line coming in. Yeah, spider ops are coming in. Okay, they're crawling up you now. They're scanning you. Stand still. They're just scanning your graphs, finding who you are. They know you're connected to me, so don't worry about it. Okay, proceed. So they go back down and they leave. So it's kind of like identification. You're identifying yourself, right? 75,000 units. It's like it's saying, well, who is this? So they know you're coming, right? But it's all protecting the civility and the connections to all levels, right? Has the security measures, defense line position locations. So just stand still and you'll be fine. I can see the flow of energy coming from everywhere. Yeah, 7 minutes remaining. So it's pretty interesting how you come across these things. Now, you have to understand what's going on through your inner light system. Now, it's all like your position line conditions. So truly, remember Lando Calrissian? Remember Lando Calrissian in Star Wars? Well, connections to high levels of Han Solo was his best friend, all that, Cloud City. Well, that's where you guys are. You're above the clouds, 75,000 years. So you have the gravity line system. So your energy dome line system to gravity position locations. All right, so I'll show you exactly where you guys are. It's pretty fascinating to see these position locations. All right. So this is where everybody is. This is the dome. Okay, locations. Go into that connection. Change destination line system rotations. Okay. So I'm going to change it. All right, so this is ether. This is the connection. This is the dome. Okay. So it's kind of like it's pretty wild. It's pretty incredible where you guys are. All right, it's something like this. So you guys are in the graph line center. Okay, into that positions. And you got so many round line center position locations. Wall interference channels, line communication cycle line system, rotation line positions. All right, so you guys are here, right? You're extremely above 75,000 years in the future. You're in a gravity line connections, so it's central line system. So it's kind of like you're in Cloud City. So basically, that's where you guys are in position right now. 6 minutes remaining. Isabel, how's it going? Total telepathy and asking questions. Great. Ask all away. Get all the questions that you need. Because the terminology and its conditions truly understand your alphabetical line conditions. So you have questions. Once you leave that system, knowing that you've been there 75,000 years in the future, they know you now. They know you. and you can be protected from them. Remember, you can go to any dimensional time. Every time you go through communication cycle line systems, intelligent positions, they will always protect you, right? Especially when you're in the connections. You realize, whoa, they might come in your dream. You realize, whoa, I just traveled there. Now you're into that formation, and they can help you with higher level things with yourself, how to get identified with your future self. Integrated system line connections. That's how I got introduced to positions of 5,000 generation lights to its communication 5,000 years in the future, and how I saw myself, my future self. Full integration line connection and how powerful the connection is to its future connection, right? That's where everybody is, right? So you're above, right? It's like Cloud City, but it has an energetic dome line system, okay? So, strange pets, yeah, 5 minutes remaining. Yeah, everybody's curious about you because they never met your positions, but you're all connected to, they know you're a human line connection interference. They know who you are, right? And that's a beautiful thing, right? Strange pets. Yeah. I really want you guys to get into detail what you see, right? Fine, this is a sign in time and playing music. Put line communication line systems, rotation centers, positions to marry. Put on track line conditions. Put on the gatekeeper, key master line conditions, 3 trap and door positions. Put her in the 75,000 line system. Okay, so you go. Mary's not here, so she's informed of that position. People don't have jobs. Nope. I see a ton of energy flowing into everything in flying cars, but the cars are like thinner. Yeah, so it's like this. All right, dome center line system. Navigation is used through the mind system, guys. Right, so flotation device line system. It's got these calculations here. Okay, get out of the second line system. I'll do the marker illumination pen rotation. So it's going like this. Okay. So it's really interesting to come across these things. All right. So it's really powerful how it connects, always informs, but this is the cards they have in the future. Okay. This is a tip rotation line center. So basically, these are the conditions. These are the wheels interference position. The wheels come into location to higher levels of atmosphere position of time location. So you're crossing your cycles. It's like Luke Skywalker in the glider, right? So the navigation line conditions youth and mind telepathy positions, right? So you can go to high level positions or you can go to low level position location line center, right? But this is 75,000 track line, okay, into the future positions, right? So it has no steering wheel. The steering wheel is you. That's what I'm saying. You have to understand, be cautious in what you do with your thoughts, because if you want to turn this, you want to turn that, it's going to change the graph line system, and it's going to allocate position of time location, change its higher levels. So you come to higher formations of platforms, higher formations of calculation, higher levels of dimensional line conditions, higher channel interference locations to its dimensional line system, to all optical line conditions, through interchanging position line condition. All right, so the atmospheres are different dyne line systems, communications, triangle line conditions, pyramid rotation line conditions, GPS line system. So trying to understand how to use your thought patterns going up or going down that location. So that's where everybody is. 5 minutes remaining. All right. Play the part again using different car or changing your car. Yep. See, the thing is too, is because you're so high rise in vibration, you can use your thoughts and you can change the color of your car. You can change the color of time location to the direction you want to travel to, right? Because remember, you can go through portals, but be cautious because you understand your timelines. Okay, because if you go into center line conditions and you're 75,000 years in the future and you leave that dimensional time, I have to take you back. because you just traveled to another connections. You can go into the past, present, or future if you don't understand your connections or your navigation signs. Right? So freeway yellow 5 lines now. I'm in a car going over the tall building. The buildings are very bright. That might be why I'm spinning out of sort like a joyride in one of those glider vehicles. That's what you're in, Diane. That's exactly what you're in. Yeah. It made me nauseated. Yeah, because you're not used to the travels of recognition time through speed. That's what everybody's in right now. That's what they have, the calculations. Wait till we go to 150,000 years in the future. So, sci-fi, real. Oh, it's very real. It's not sci-fi, though. It's real. Soul's identifying your connections to your soul identification lines. It's connected to all those systems. Here in a cloud city, into 75,000 track line system of dimensional time. So, really want you to experience this. What color do I need to slow down, Commander, to balance? Use the mind connections to navigation lights, Isabel. You're going too fast. So change your thought patterns. Just say slow down position locations, navigation lights, turn them off location, track its line system. All right, so you have to know how to communicate with the car, guys. There's no steering wheel, okay? It's only the mind. So it's all done through thoughts. Teleportation vehicles, there you go. That's exactly what it is. Everybody's doing okay. Diane's a little bit nauseous. That's okay. She's just spinning through accelerator. So her flux capacitors are going up to line conditions. So I'm going to bounce her position line conditions, change her navigation lights, and she's got a higher location. So she's bouncing her position of time now. It's all about understanding when you're traveling to higher force position in the future. You have to understand your accelerators and your Mach-E line conditions, your atmospheres. I mean, you really, really smell it. It's the senses that really kick in, and your connections to your eyes and your ears. You open up to everything. And when you see these things, you actually see people. It's amazing. I see a flying square robot in front of it. Round camera type thing. Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's a robot line connection interference. That gets in connection. So it's kind of like keeping you guys aware of what you're doing. Okay. It's kind of like a sensory perception, line connection security guard. So the square robots are in front of everything through positions. So it's a camera type thing. So it's a sensory perception. So it's a camera reflection line connections. So it does an auto records line system. You know when you go on your highways and they take a picture of you, right? Take a picture of your license and then you get it in the mail and you have to pay for it, right? You get on a highway. It's exactly what it is, right? So it's just keeping you aware, making sure you know how to travel through line connections. Digital line position locations, 4 minutes remaining. Everything's so clean. I know it's unbelievable, but you're there. You're actually there. So it's amazing to know that you guys just traveled extremely far. So it's very clean. Yeah, the atmosphere too. So you'll be out of sorts and then into sorts, and you have to pay attention to these things because you're traveling extremely high rise, and they're very well aware of who you are and where you are. Okay, and now they know who you are. So you come friends with them, right, through that relation. Okay, and they can help you in all division. So, 3 minutes remaining. So you're really trying to understand how to navigate. You're in an XR6. An XR6. That's what you're in, Isabel. Okay. So it's like a flotation glider. That's what you're in right now. So Transformers. I see a tall robot guy. He looks like that one old cartoon robot movie from the 90s. I'm now in a white tunnel like a subway. It's amazing. I know it's amazing. I can't stop laughing. You guys are. Yeah. I'll give you a couple more minutes. I got your track lines. I got your E-fields. I got your in-time positions. And it's in Fortitude line system. So you're good to go. So I'll give you guys another 7 minutes. You're having a lot of fun. So. There's an oracle here in one of the buildings, and everyone is telling me about them. Yeah. Remember, you guys have been here already. That's why it's very strong to the mind conceptual line system, right? So you get flashes of this, flashes of that. Samantha's seeing robots for a reason. Now she's communicating with them, trying to understand them through digital line. She'll see an oracle of a building. Okay. Isabel is trying to understand navigation to her flotation of her glider. And Diane's trying to understand her light tunnel connections, their acceleration, time location. Yeah. Temples. I got the clocking system in my memory and my template, so it's okay. You guys are having a lot of fun, so it's good that you understand what's going on, right? Truly appreciate how, we're not just the only ones. Golden Buddha. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, it's amazing. Wait till tomorrow, 150,000 years in the future. Oof. You're going to love that one. But can you see what the operations can do? Pretty amazing, right? From your commander. Do you guys type and see at the same time, or see then type it here? Basically, it's more observation of what you see through your eye interference, audio signals, sector line connections, vector core position line connections, interchanging line centers. So truly understand what you're seeing through third eye line system. So you don't really have time to type when you're seeing these things extremely fast positions, because everything that they're seeing. So it's kind of like, this is where they are right now. Okay, so their dream sets are not dreams, they're real. So slow identification is line signal. It's trapped in the line system to locations into 3 door line centers, puts them into 75,000 line positions of dimensional time. So they're floating above in the Clad City, right? They're here having a lot of fun, trying to understand what's going on, right? Seeing temples now too. I also can be in the maiden, playing non-archer tones, temples, and pools of crystal water. Okay. You guys are all seeing, like, you're seeing different things, but you're all in the same place, right? You're all in the same place. Right? Temples and pools of crystal water. So it's incredible what you guys are seeing, eh? Polar bear, nice to cool off. You said the pets look weird. Describe what the pets are. I saw a building with a round top like a saucer top. I'm going to go in. Okay. So Samantha's in a building. Round top like a saucer. So she's going into the central command. That's where she's going to. So she's going into computer line center position, which is nice. You guys are there for all levels of remembering of why you're there, right? Remember that. Because you've already been there. All right, so let's see here. I'm just going to backphrase. Let's see where everybody is. Okay, Krista, you're seeing a huge sun. Now that sun rotation line is reflection to its TV reception and reconnection through line system. It's allocating through pixel lines. Too much pain, can't concentrate. Pets are not dogs or cats. They're fluffy and super cute, more like monkeys. So they're upgraded to the line conditions of animal. That's pretty cool. Krista, calculations are off. Okay, I can see that. Well, that's because you don't have your flux capacitor interference. You don't have your connections. I was saying it's so important when you travel to so many high levels of position of time location. When you're going to those positions, you have to get into your firewalls, right? So adaptation line condition interference, put the concentration line centers into Krista, put her in position location, put her in line communication of less confusion. All right, so there you go, Krista. No more pain. It's all about the concentration to mind line systems, guys. Is it a red tunnel following Samantha meeting brown 10 1.3 following yellow now is more full orange now? And doing tapestry now in Circus 10. Yeah. So make sure you use audio interference and record everything that you see so you can write it down, illustrate it, draw it out. You can send it to my email. Let me know what you saw, right? Try to make sense of it because it's all done through code, right? Your identification line connection is truly understand who you are through its remembering. You're there for certain reasons to meet certain people for that connections because you've been there already. And that's why it's so powerful. Right? So Krista's okay. Now you've gone way over your clocking time, but that's okay. You guys are having a lot of fun, so. Seeing animals in a circus tent. I see a rounded wall with computer screens lined up. There's a chair or something in the middle with several things sticking out in the middle. Yeah, that's the command center. That's the circle line condition of 12 position of time location. People are getting entertained. Fanfare music is coming now. Yell. Okay. We have been there in another dimension, or is it another universe timeline? Oh, very good. Very good. Well, because it's not a dimension line system. There's so many timeline conditions interference, but it is another universe timeline, Hawk. Yes. So it has to be. So you can't be in a dimensional time position of 5D activations if you're saying your timeline system interference. So in position, everybody's 75,000 years in the future into another universal timeline. Okay, not dimension. So That's like living on the fifth dimensional activation and seeing people for the very first time. So you traveled from, let's say, third dimension to the fifth dimension. You traveled, and you realize, oh, fifth dimension, right? But you're three dimension, so you just traveled, right? You hopscotch, timeline, vortex, position line, connection, interference. So it's all about understanding universal timelines. So that's where everybody's in. They're in a different timeline, but they're above the energetic dome position location. Right? This is where everybody is. I'm meeting children like little black dots. Okay, there's a big celebration happening, like the changing of seasons. Okay, so you're fluctuating interference, changing line centers, yeah, to seasons, right? This is going to help you too through your perceptions and your receptors. You understand more of yourself through graph lines when you can come into more of your imageries. The more you see through imagery, the more you see through the compilation, how you see everything all at once, right? I'm sitting behind a desk, okay? It's amazing too, because I can keep you guys there. You guys can stay in 75,000 years in the future. But see, the more you stay up there, the more things come into your reality of 75,000 years in the future. So the mind thinks the 75,000 year. That's why you have to come out of portals and going back into position like conditions, because you're not ready. The application is not ready. Soul's not ready. So it's all about remembering first. Once you start remembering where you are through dimensional time, you can travel anywhere through second light conditions, dimensional two positions, and you go to higher levels of universal timelines. Right? All done through routine reception of computers. So I see someone with a white helmet on. People are graduating. That's the celebration. Mm-hmm. I see many people talk about 3D going to 5D, but what about the fourth part? Where is the fourth? That's the communication cycle. That's the riverboat. That's opening up the light conditions to interference. That's getting communication to the soul. That's the fourth dimension. It's the writing cycle. That's all it is. 3D is the condition that you're living on. The existence is following a path. So you're going from 3D timeline to 4 to 5. So you can be on that density line system, three-dimensional time positions, okay? You can be on a fourth dimensional line system to density line conditions, or you can be in 5-generation light conditions to telepathy of communication to telepathy system. So I have the colors and sailing a pirate ship, my flag. I have this is where I am now. Pirate is plane, having fun, to be very clear. All right, you're getting a wild imagination there, Isabel. You see what you perceive. And the reason why you're in this position is because you've been there. So everybody's seeing something different. But you're in the same position of error, of acceleration. So the more you travel, the more you become aware of who you are. And what you start to remember, it's very powerful. Very powerful. Right? So, because I know where everybody is in position of track lines and your identification line system. So Where's Diane? Diane, okay? Are you sure you guys are all fine? Past and moment is together now. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Bass tone. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What are you describing? What's happening with your positions? Your travel recognition of tiny accelerations. Because you were walking through that tunnel. So just came out, and I think the long part of the building was the saucer top. This tall had a bunch of mechanical stuff on all the sides of the inside, really tall. Mm-hmm. So you went into interdimensional system there, Samantha. So it's like seeing something here from outside, but when you go inside, it's intergalactic, it's interdimensional. You actually go into their space, which is really cool. Just processing all the weight. Okay. Any museum, artifacts of the past. Slow motion is going on now. So the chronological system of all your souls is starting to remember. So it's frame by frame. So it's going. So that's what it's doing. Right? It's getting to know you more, what you are through the soul, and you've traveled at positions, right? So it's you're going through flash frames of everything, right? Slow motion is going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because everybody's at a different tone, different vibration, different color, different light, different intelligence, different time. But you're all in the same alignment. I see 3 different rounded out entryway tunnels inside. Okay, nice. You're seeing entry levels of higher level divisions of tunnels inside position locations. Nice. So you're understanding your connections of UO position of your commanding science system. All right. So give you a couple more minutes and I'll take you out. Yeah. So Samantha, you're seeing that positions, and it's interesting how you see that before I say something, because that's exactly the way out. Samantha, I see 3 different rounded out entryway tunnels inside. So that means that you have to go through it. And it's really, really powerful how you got aware of that, Samantha. Way to go. Because I was going to tell you that through positions, because this is where you started with the connections, right? You started with this position, right? 3 waving tunnels, dimensional time, right? But you don't go back, you go through another tunnel, the 3 waving doors. So you come into the frame positions of the keymaster and the gatekeeper, right? Track its connections, so we're back in line condition interference, 3-dimensional time position locations. Starts off this position, right? Now we're going to go through the door recognition light system, 2 program systems, locate position, time, location. There's 1 door, there's 2 doors, there's 3 doors. Okay, now the keymaster's coming in. It's going to open up the doors at 3-dimensional line conditions. Right, you start off that conditions. Right, it's amazing how Samantha saw that. It's pretty, really powerful. I'm pretty amazed. Okay, so each door is going to open up the traction. Okay, so you're coming into positions. You're coming out of your portals right here. Coming out. There you are. Out. Now, dimensional time. Door positions, 3 line connections. Let's go into its activation line system, triangle location, activation core system, into high level system. Now we have to go through 3 levels of tetrahedron line systems, okay? Because you're going down, not up. Okay? So that connection is activation line conditions, goes back into 5D activation line condition. All right. Go from that to this. All right. We go into here again. Activations. Key masters opening the door locations, dimensional time position. All right. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Back to 5D. There you go. All done. All right. So that's amazing how it was interesting how Samantha was aware of these things before I said it. So the conceptual mind system was acting upon that, realizing, oh, I see 3 doors going back. Now, the thing is she aware of it enough to actually go through? Maybe, maybe not, right? But she's right. So this is all about being aware on what you approach and how to get out of these things, how you go in and how you come out. But there's always done through time. You guys went way over 12 minutes, but it was a lot of fun, right? It was a lot of fun knowing that you were there. Okay? So pick up on everything that you saw. I'll put frame, position, line connections. Go in that track line centers, draw it out, illustrate it. You can do template position locations, the audio interference location. You can put on your TikToks. You can go on mutation line centers. There's a lot of things that you can do through your self-identification of travel conditions. So, yeah, it was lots of fun. It was really cool. Yeah. Yeah. You can tell your loved ones you just traveled 75,000 years in the future. But I was really impressed with Samantha, how she came across the doors. And that's what I want you guys to be aware of when your time is up. Right? So it's pretty interesting how you guys go into detail. And then she came across this just back phrase here. All right. All right. So got a lot of detail here. It's really fascinating to see these things. All right. Big celebration. Mm-hmm. If you understand the celebration, you understand why. It's all connected to you guys. Everything's connected to you for you to figure out who you are. All right. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. After Isabella's slow motion is going on now, so she's realizing that she's coming into that position. Now, it's coming into the same thing when you come into 3-track line doors. So Samantha comes across, I see 3 different rounded out entry way tunnels inside. Now, would you go through those? Probably not, because you don't know where it's going to go, right? But she was aware. Maybe she was sure, maybe she wasn't sure. But it's amazing how it came into frame before I said it. Okay? So that is pretty fascinating. Yeah. Let's see here. For the shape, lots of fun. You're extremely welcome. Subject, my son and his girlfriend saw what they thought was a UFO. It was late, or would have sent UMS. Yeah, it is. It's because you're connected to line connections of AI position. So, yeah. So whatever they see, you see. Just have to make sense of it, what it is. Coca House. Well, you're in position, Krista. Your flotation line conditions of fear cycles, and you're connecting to positions. You were traveling extremely high through acceleration, but it puts you back in balance line centers, so you wouldn't overload your circuits. So, and that's what you have to do, Krista, is you have to get more into my school of activation. Get into test reviews and evaluations. Write things down. Send it to my email. Understand what you're going through illustration diagram system. Is extremely powerful when you come into real space of time. I was thinking about going through, but I didn't want to go through. See? That's unsurety, right? So, but she's aware, she's just not sure to go through, right? That's the understanding where you have to start remembering more and more and why you're put in these positions. To understand who you are, right? Then you know that, oh, I know exactly to go back home. That position, right? So it's all about a presentation. Okay. It's kind of like a certainty, something that you need to see because you've been there, right? A certain point, a value, why you're there to understand. And that connections of dimensional time of its own universe, right? Because there's so many levels of universe line connections of timelines. So. Yeah, I know it's hard to come across that day. But see, Krista, if you get into that higher positions, I can high force your levels. You got to go into higher levels of your chakras. Now, I'm going to go on TikTok. And if you want to get into that application, we can go through that position. You go through my healing, right? Because you're already in your lights. You have to go to higher levels of chakra positions. So you get balance with acceleration of your timelines, right? Because everything time precedes everything day, month, and year, right? So, but that was a lot of fun, eh? That was great. You guys were up there for about 20 minutes. That's incredible. Yep. 111. Yep. Yep. One location, one activation, one line center position locations. So I need to do something. It's frustrating. Yeah, because you're frustrating your systems, right? And the soul is trying to identify what's going on with the travel. Okay, but the brain's in lapping. So that's where everybody else is seeing everything because they're in their line conditions. They go to the school, they learn more, and they start understanding. See, the more you remember, the more focus comes in through its awareness of its surrender positions. You realize you have to believe you've been there. And that's the only way you'll see things. Remember I said somewhere in time, he had to have proof he was there. Okay, or there'd be a huge problem that connections. So he went to the register, went down in the basement, into the archive. His name was written in pen, time position. Okay, I think it was 9:18 a.m. with his signature, realizing he was there in that time. So this is where it comes into the belief that why you're in that positions, and it becomes more real to the mind because the soul is starting to understand its connection to its alignment. Okay. So I can high rise your chakra connections. That will put you in a better position of balance. Right. So it's always connected to the flux capacitors. You go from so many compartment line conditions, you go line conditions. So you high rise your lights. So the more you come into space, the more you come into travel connections of who you are. So, and it balances out. So, but it's important you go to my school because it's travel week this week. So tomorrow we're going to travel to 150,000 years in the future. Why? Because you've been there. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free. If you want to go into that position, let me know. If you want to get in your flux capacitor, your energy light conditions, let me know. If you want to uprise your gravity line conditions, want to get into more computer position locations, you want to get into the upper line centers, you want to get into more dimensional time position of understanding. If you want to get into high levels of acceleration, to understand your mocking line center position locations, just let me know. I'm here for you. Okay? All right. Talk to you later. Adios.